Hello and welcome to the sideboard here at SCG St. Louis. I'm Nick Miller alongside Brewer and Midwest Open Series grinder Jeff Hoogland. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well.
Great. And what have you brought to the table for us today?
So today we're playing a bug mid-range deck. We have, it's a very flexible selection of cards, which is why we're playing it. We have a wide range of threats that allow us to attack the other decks from a variety of angles. We start with our two Planeswalkers, make an excellent pair.
Yes.
We have Ashiok and Kiora. Kiora is able to protect both of them while she ticks up to her eventual ultimate. They're both a powerful combination against the control decks in the format. To ensure that our Planeswalkers live against the more aggressive things that are going around, we start off with a Sylvan Caryatid at the bottom of our curve into Courser of Kruphix.
Courser of Kruphix, a card that has been popping up in all kinds of decks. You know, and you love it from a number of interactions with cards like Prognostic Sphinx, Kiora, Underworld Connections, you know.
It's just amazingly flexible. I think the best way I've heard Courser of Kruphix described is it's just a card that has too much text on it. It does so many things, it's just very powerful. And this deck maximizes the number of ways we're able to abuse the things Courser does. As you mentioned, Prognostic Sphinx allows us to set up and find a land to play with the Courser of Return, effectively allowing us to draw a card off the top of our deck. The incremental life gain is nothing to scoff at against the more aggressive decks in the format.
Right, you have Underworld Connections and Thoughtseize in the deck.
Yep, so Courser combined with a couple copies of Scavenging Ooze allow us to stabilize against the more aggressive things that are running around.
Now you've been playing bug decks, just a variety of them, as I've been watching over the last couple of weeks. Why this iteration this week? You know, the more planeswalkery. I guess we have the addition of Kiora, but you know, you're a huge fan of Ashiok as well.
Yes, I think Ashiok's very powerful right now. She's very good against both the red-green monsters deck. She pluses and often finds a 4 or a 5 to immediately put into play from their deck. And she's unstoppable against the blue-white decks that aren't playing Downfall when you use her in conjunction with Abrupt Decay. Right. She just grinds out their library and eventually their hand as well.
Abrupt Decay, another card that is just shining right now. You know, you can talk a little bit about your removal suite while you're running, you know, Ultimate Price because you have Abrupt Decay at your disposal.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of the mono black and the black white decks have been supplementing their Heroes Downfall removal suite with Bile Blight. This deck, it doesn't have to play the Bile Blights in the main because we have Abrupt Decay to tag extra things like Frostburn Weirds and Night Veil Specters. So we're able to hedge against having a better green-red matchup by playing a full set of Ultimate Price in the main deck.
And of course, you've got, you know, Pelucranos and Prognostic Sphinx to deal with troublesome creatures or just block profitably against, you know, Blood Baron and such.
Yep. And Kiora is actually very good at dealing with Blood Baron. She takes up and up and up and makes sure it doesn't deal any damage or gain any life for them.
Right. So you're number 9 in the Players' Championship race. What do you think about your odds, you know, going forward? And has Bug performed well enough for you to stick with it on the Open Series?
I can foresee myself playing this deck. It's one of the decks I'm considering playing at the Charlotte Invitational next month. So I think it's very consistent and it just offers a flexible variety of cards. Similar to the Jund deck from last season, I think you can have a selection of cards to let you beat anything, just like we're Ultimate Price to beat the red-green, which is the big deck this week.
Exactly. Now, sideboard, we have a couple of interesting options here. You've talked about Bile Blight, you know, that's in your board, but you also have Drown in Sorrow and a Mutavault. Explain the Mutavault and then, of course, the removal cards you have in your sideboard.
So the Mutavault, like I said before we started, is easily the card I get the most questions about. And it is there, so against the other mid-range and more controlling decks in the format, you can board out your Sylvan Caryatids and bring in a 26 land.
Wow.
This way you're able to up your threat density by bringing in more relevant cards, because it's okay if you can't cast all your spells on curve in those matchups, since they're going to give you more time to recover.
Interesting. Of course, Golgari Charm there to take out, you know, tokens and to take out enchantments as well.
All 3 of Golgari Charm's modes are very relevant, especially against the blue-white decks. It destroys Ascension Sphere, it counters Supreme Verdict, and it mops up Elspeth tokens.
Yeah, Bug seems like a great place to be in this metagame, you know, fighting on all axes, like you said. So, well, from the SCG St. Louis, I'm here with Jeff Hoogland. Nice to see you. Good luck, and good luck on the Players' Championship.